Russia claims Ukraine plans missile strikes on Crimea.
This post received a score of 5800, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Such strikes, which Russia considers to be outside the area of what it calls its special military operation in Ukraine. Now that's funny. He thinks they can set boundaries on Ukraine's response.
Boundaries within Ukraine's boundaries.
Russia's official stance is that Crimea is legitimately annexed Russian soil within the borders of the country itself. When Ukraine attacks, Putin will frame it as Ukraine invading Russia and use it as an excuse for further escalation, mobilization, or crimes against humanity. Edit. Can people please stop replying? You're all saying some variation of the same three things.
Greater than when Ukraine attacks, Putin will frame it as Ukraine invading Russia and use it as an excuse for further escalation, mobilization, or crimes against humanity. What gives anyone the impression that he needs excuses for any of that? Putin has been doing all kinds of bad shit from day one. He's a dictator in all but the title. No one in Russia Gov is gonna say no to him, no one in the armed forces either. He just orders it. This kind of news is just part of the show, for the people in his country to devour and us to cringe at, while Ukraine suffers his tantrum.
These news are intended for internal propaganda purposes as well as to muddy the water just in case.
I think it's literally about muddied water, specifically the toxic water Russia created when Russia blew up the dam. Now they realize that people can't live in the shitty conditions they created and have to blame a future evacuation order on NATO fears. It was so poorly planned they didn't evacuate their own units downstream. Many videos from the front, from both sides, have commentary from the men on the front saying how slow Russian mod is to approve artillery fires. They mostly hit nothing as Ukraine has since moved their forces in the week it took to approve the strike.
Lol at Russia trying to put boundaries on the war after they started it.
No tagbacks.
Well, duh, don't need military intelligence to know that.
Next news from Russia. Russia claims Ukraine plans to take back Crimea.
Next news from Razia. Ukraine plans to win in a fair fight.
Next news from Russia. Ukraine is attacking and killing Russian soldiers that are physically present, drinking coffee and minding their own business inside Ukraine.
Russians were unironically screaming about war crimes, when Ukrainian special forces were clearing out a trench, where Russian soldiers were caught off guard and didn't grab their weapons.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.